Now, this isn't me gatekeeping this game, believe me, not at all. But it is me looking at you straight in the eyes and telling you, get better, you weak piece of Elden Ring. The new DLC came out, the Shadow of the Erdtree, and it is magnificent and brutal. But hey, what do you expect with an Elden Ring Dark Souls From Software game and DLC? But apparently the DLC is too hard. If you look at the Steam page for the DLC, you can see it's sitting at a mixed review at 62% positive. It's crazy to me that it's doing that. I wanted to look more into this because remember the first time you ever logged into Elden Ring and you went into Limgrave for the first time and you had that pesky tree sentinel waiting for you out there? Was it the same exact scenario? Because don't get me wrong, when you first get into this DLC, it's brutal right from the beginning. The first guy, though he isn't a boss or a mini boss like the tree sentinel, he's still brutal as hell. And it was the first taste, and it was great. People are complaining that, oh, I over leveled and I should be strong and I shouldn't be this weak, I shouldn't be getting two-shotted by everything I see. But at the same time, why are you planning on being over leveled just so you can steamroll the whole DLC? I'm happy for the people that over leveled are getting steamrolled because they are not paying attention to a really fundamental thing in this DLC, and it's the Skadu route. Or I think that's how they say it in the game, the Skadu route. This thing, if you read immediately what it does, it's supposed to be the thing that actually makes you stronger in the Shadow Realm. And apparently everyone's skipping over this thing and crying about it. But I will say one thing. There are a lot of bosses. I haven't seen them all, but the two bosses that I have seen so far, they do have those unending combos, and you don't know when you gotta get in there. The friggin' dog beast, the dog boss, the divine beast lion or whatever it's called. I have found a very funny clip by Anthony Kongfan on Twitter, so check it out.
Don't you fucking choke this, Anthony. Don't you fucking choke this bitch. No!
Just like how the people are finding the DLC brutal, for some reason Eurogamer also does. They gave the DLC a 3 out of 5, I guess. Good on you. And they were crying also about the difficulty of the game. Everyone is just forgetting about the Skadu route and what its benefit is. It literally paints it out from the beginning. The moment you grab the first one, it explains the benefit. And if you actually skipped over that and you're complaining, like, I mean, come on. Hi, this is me mid-editing, and I forgot to add this little thing in, so I thought I should just pop it and say it. There are a lot of performance issues when it comes to the game right now, and it's completely understandable that some people do have complaints due to performance issues. I have seen the game stutter, I have seen the loss of frames, I have seen all these things. Running the game currently, for me, I am not seeing any frames over 40 FPS, so that's another thing for me. It's weird. I don't understand why the game is running the way it is right now. It seems like it's poorly optimized. I'm running this game on medium settings, like completely medium, and it's having a hard time, I'm not gonna lie, just because of how many effects are on the screens, particles and all that stuff. So yeah, I don't know why it's become an issue right now. So back to the video. It got so bad with how brutal the DLC is, you even have Asmongold contemplating quitting the whole thing. Here, look at this.
Are you done with the game? I might give it maybe another day. Like, I don't know, but like I think I'm pretty much done. Yeah, I am. I think that the DLC is too hard for it to be fun. When every single attack combo like stuns you, and then you're locked into an animation, and then you get insta killed. I can beat it. and of course I could beat it, but I just don't really want to. I don't want to sit through 100 attempts or 50 attempts on every boss.
And then, after all that, one day later, he comes and does this.
That's right. Yep. Fat roll? Absolutely. So, the problem was dodging, and so we removed the need for it. Do it. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. All right. Oh. We're going to hit him again. So talismans. We have the Great Shield Talisman, the Erd Tree Talisman, the Fire Talisman, and then also the Turtle Talisman. The armor is the heaviest, biggest armor that I can possibly have. I can also swap this out for this talisman that boosts defense.
That's the beauty of the game. You're not supposed to play just like everyone else. It's the beauty of the scenario of just going into the game and making it how you want it to be. Screw everybody else saying you can't play with summons, you can't play an intelligence build, of magic build, madness, whatever. It doesn't matter. Play the way that you want to play it, but do not come out here and complain and cry that this is too hard. Here, we'll also look at a Forbes article about this whole thing. Here we have a Forbes article talking about everybody complaining about the difficulty, and it says right there, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree, too hard? Bandai Namco says, get blessings. Elden Ring's Shadow of the Erd Tree expansion is currently being reviewed poorly by some players who believe that it's just too hard compared to the base game, and their high-level characters keep getting 2 to 3 shot while doing minimal damage in response. Well, Bandai Namco, the game's publisher, has come out with some extremely blunt advice to rectify the problem. Bandai Namco, we can see the tweet right there. This is a suggestion to level up your Shadow Tree blessing. And right here, it says it. Here, let me zoom in a little. It says, the Shadow Tree blessing, of course, is upgraded through finding the Shadow Tree fragments around the map, which increases your attack and defense significantly in the Shadow Realm only. Revered Spirit Ashes, which does the same thing except for your summons. Without question, this not level, not gear, not NG plus level, not anything has more of a factor in how hard you hit and how much damage you take than Shadow Tree blessing level. And after just 24 to 48 hours since release, I refuse to believe that people are powered up enough to take on some of the content they're trying. Shadow Tree blessing level goes up to 20. For reference, I'm 50 hours into the game and at 16. Later on, it takes 2 to 3 fragments to upgrade a level, not one like at the start. The process was always run into something that's too hard, go explore, level up the blessing, come back. So far, that's always worked for me. I do not think many players understand that you can access probably 75% of the map, especially the most dense parts with the most rewards, without progressing far into the story at all. The main storyline does not include essentially the bottom 50% of the map at all, and there is loads to explore and find there, including loads of blessing materials. The only zones that are hard gate kept by story progression are a few cool but relatively empty zones in the north, and then the final boss tower area. Almost everything else is fair game. I absolutely do not see FromSoft changing anything about the difficulty at all here. That's just not their MO. This is a studio that gate kept the entire DLC behind fighting a hard, tough to find optional mini-boss from the first game, even if that meant refunds or lost sales. Like Bandai Namco, I do not think people are patient enough in terms of hunting down the blessings. They need to take on the toughest content, or you need to change your build and tactics significantly to take on these bosses, as there is no one-size-fits-all approach to any of them. Or maybe people just need to, get good. Exactly. That's literally it. You have people that are complaining and they're not even following the rules of the game itself or the rules of the DLC. frickin' read, frickin' pay attention. You don't want to do all those? Then good luck. There were a lot of complaints about the difficulty in this. You can even see from what we read. So I want to look at a different article by PC Gamer that talks about the studio's response to everyone complaining about the game and lowering the difficulty. Lowering Elden Ring's difficulty would attract more players but would also break the game itself, says director Hidetaka Miyazaki. If we really wanted the whole world to play the game, we could just crank the difficulty down more and more, Miyazaki said, but that wasn't the right approach. Had we taken that approach, I don't think the game would have done what it did, because the sense of achievement that players gain from overcoming these hurdles is such a fundamental part of the experience. Turning down difficulty would strip the game of that joy, which in my eyes would break the game itself. That said, FromSoft did ease up a little bit. Miyazaki said the studio wanted to ensure Elden Ring players didn't feel claustrophobic or overly limited in the scope of what they're able to do, and instead of the relentlessly bleak worlds of the Dark Souls series, we wanted to have these moments of beauty. That's where a little bit of high fantasy comes in, conceptually, he said, both in terms of the difficulty and the learning curve, as well as the world setting. You feel that you can come up for air. You heard it right there, straight from Miyazaki himself. We have no way to input ourselves into that situation. It is his dream. We are just in his world. We are experiencing their product. Just sitting here and complaining, it just reminds me of the first Tree Sentinel everybody faced, and it's kind of funny, but at the same time it's sad, because it's true. The game is not for everyone, but if you want to be one of those people that buys it for the hype and then you get your ass whooped, even though why would you buy the game now to play the DLC? You would have to play and kill Radon and Mog, so you wouldn't be able to get into the DLC with everybody else. But for the people that were farming and they were gearing their characters up just to make sure they can just go crazy and one-shot or destroy this whole DLC, all for, at the end, to have Miyazaki do this to them, I'm happy that happened to them. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you deserve it. The gameplay style isn't fixed. Everybody can play the way they want to play it. They can adapt in any certain way. I myself, I like the idea of using summons. Some people find that cringy. I do not. I like that idea. I like having a buddy beside me, be it online or just one of the offline characters. You cannot tell me that it is the wrong way to play, because I like playing that way. And with the whole Skadu tree thing, I think I was calling it root last time, but the Skadu tree thing, I love exploring, but at the same time, I'm not finding a lot of places to explore. That's my issue. So I went into the Rana fight with Skadu tree level 3, I believe. I'll throw up a video up here to show you my current levels. And yeah, I pretty much got my butt whooped as hard as possible, and I was just very stubborn. I tried and tried and tried, and it sucked because holy shit, that fight is really hard, and I had to change almost everything with my character because I was playing with a medium load set, and I felt like there was a little delay to when I was hitting the dodge button, and it was driving me crazy. So whenever I knocked myself down to lightweight load or light load, it solved a lot of issues for me. And I kept trying and I kept trying and I kept trying. This whole fight drove me insane because I felt like there was no way for me to progress unless I killed this person. And if you're wondering, I did do it. Here's my reaction. And that's the end of the video. Hey, if you liked it, why not drop a like, subscribe, and comment? If you didn't like it, I'm not going to tell you not to dislike it. You can go right ahead. And I hope to see you here next time. See ya.